Hey, my name is Megan Isaacs, and I'll be giving my intercultural speech over a young gentleman I find very interesting. His name is Michael McBride. He's from Visalia, California, which is a growing agricultural place. It's also located next to the Sequoia National Park. The title of my speech is called Overcoming Obstacles. Michael McBride went from playing baseball in his hometown of Visalia, California, to playing baseball in the small town of Campbellsville. Why, might you ask? Well, according to Michael, he needed to change directions in his life and head down a better path. He needed to stray away from the negative influences, such as drugs and alcohol. And what better way to do this than Campbellsville University, where according to their website, everyone matters. And everyone values what God is doing in and through you. Today I'm here to tell you about an interesting gentleman, Michael, who had to endure many hardships in order to get from the orange groves of California to playing baseball in the small town of Kentucky. When Michael was just a boy, he spent a lot of time with his grandparents, his family, and his friends. Michael and his grandparents used to have meaningful conversations out in their 5 acres of lands. They would pick oranges and just talk about life in general. One of his favorite memories of his grandmother is when he was being bad, his grandmother used to always say, "Now that's not my Michael. That's just the devil in you. That can't be my Michael." Well, Michael and his grandmother was raised Roman Catholic. They're true Roman Catholics. He was an altar boy growing up. And another thing about Michael was he couldn't eat anything before church. He always had to watch it, but afterwards, he would come home and his family would have a good dinner cooked for him. His favorite meal, of course, would be cooked if he tried to. Michael had a great childhood growing up with his grandparents along with his family and friends. But hard times were right around the corner. Michael's life changed going into his freshman year. His parents sat him and his older sister down one day and told them that they were going to get a divorce. Now, at this age, this must have been terribly hard. And it did. It was really hard on Michael and his family. Michael lived with his mother and his sister in a small 2-bedroom apartment, where his mother had to sleep on the couch every night because he didn't want Michael or his sister to have to share a room. For almost 2 years, Michael rarely spoke to his father because of what he had done and what his sister and mother were telling him. He was a young kid and didn't know everything going on. He just knew it was bad. About 2 months of living with his mother and sister, they got in a huge argument. Michael moved out and decided to be on his own for a while. This included living in his truck for a while. One of his friends found out and took him in. They said, "Hey, you can come stay with us." During this time, they helped him get his life back on track. He was into drugs and alcohol and was hanging out with a bad crowd. But his friends, Gabe and Dora, took him in and showed him how life could be. They took him to church, and they made sure that he was doing better in school. They also helped him with his athletics. Because of their help and everybody around him influencing him, he did better in athletics and in baseball. Michael was always a standout athlete, and he learned to channel all his emotions into the sport he loved most. He became an All-American in high school and set many records for his school in the state of California. As a result of his hard work and athletic ability, Michael got a scholarship. Michael played junior college in California in his hometown. However, at the end of his 2 years in junior college, he had a big decision to make. Leave his home and all the bad memories that were there, or stay in California to be able to see his family and friends and have them be able to visit him. After a long thought process and talking it over with Dora and Gabe, he finally decided to move to Campbellsville University. Since coming out to Campbellsville, Michael has become closer to God and his family. His relationship with his family has grown immensely and talks with them multiple times a week. He also stays very close with his friends Dora and Gabe. His GPA has also gone up, and his talent and work ethic on the field has helped him as well. He even made the dean's list. In conclusion, Michael overcame obstacles in his life, like his parents' divorce and his negative influences. He is now on the right track of life and hopes to stay that way. Today I talked about an interesting gentleman whose life was a lot different than mine. I've not experienced a divorce or the negative influences that was mentioned in my speech. Where we are from, how we worship, and what motivates us to be better individuals are totally different. However, I do know how hard it can be to overcome life's obstacles, as well as I know you do too. Therefore, we can learn from one another and just shape the tomorrow.